Yeah, that's right. I see the chat. I see y'all rocking. I see y'all coming. Hit that like button as you enter the building. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button. Show your love. Show your support. You know what I'm saying? This that dope soul. This that new thing. Nobody don't know about it.
Hello, Knick family. Welcome to the Knicks Recap and Reaction Show. I'm your host, Stephanie, aka Queen. Going solo today. Shout out to Geoff and his wife on vacation. So it'll just be me. I'll open up the panel for anybody who wants to hop on. Actually, the link is already in the chat. So let's get to it. The Knicks took care of business last night in Las Vegas in the semifinals of the Emirates NBA Cup. Fourth time we see in Orlando. It's difficult to see a team so many times in such a short period of time. But it's almost like a playoff atmosphere in the sense that you know each other so well, right? By the time you get to the fourth game of a playoff series, you know the team very well. So the Knicks know Orlando. Orlando knows the Knicks. You know, obviously they were without Franz Wagner. Okay, you know the Knicks again. You know, playing without McBride, who's a big part of what we do. Playing without Shamit, big part of what we do, at least defensively and shooting wise. And the Knicks, I got to tell you, I was very, very impressed. And we'll get into it. We'll get into the individual players, Brunson, Cad, Anunoby, Kolek, you know, who I thought probably had the best game of his career. We'll get into that. But I just want to start with, and hopefully I'm not going too far into the weeds statistically with what I'm about to say. I just think that when you're playing any team, there's a game plan, right? You're trying to take away what the other team does best, and they're trying to take away what you do best, right? With the hopes that you have to move on to something else and you don't do it as well. So I do want to get into this. And again, I hope I'm not going too far into the weeds here. So Orlando took away the 3-point shot from the Knicks, right? The Knicks only took 23 pointers last night. They made 7. The Knicks take 41 3-point shots per game, right? They shoot it at a 37.8% clip and they make 15.4 threes per game on average. Last night, they only made 7, right? So they took away the 3-point attempts from the Knicks. They also took more shots than the Knicks, right? The Knicks took 13 fewer shots than Orlando, 6 less than usual. The Knicks take 45% of their shots from 3. Last night, they only took 23% of their shots from 3. So if that's what you do, if your game plan is 3-point shooting, getting up, you know, more shots than the other team, how do you win by 12? And it was because of efficiency and points in the paints. The Knicks shot lights out last night. They shot 61% from the field in the first quarter, 63% for the half, 61% from the field overall. That's how you win when you're taking 13 fewer shots than the other team, right? As far as points in the paint, the Knicks scored 70 points in the paint. I repeat, 70 points in the paint. Let me just put up, this is one of my favorite slides. So let me just put this up while I'm talking. Yeah. This just gives you a visual of the flow, you know, of the flow of the game. And I'll definitely get to the chat. So the Knicks were efficient from the field. Points in the paint. Now, obviously, points in the paint helps your efficiency. You're closer to the basket. The Knicks are 21st in points in the paint. It's not a big part of what we do. We're a 3-point shooting team. Again, 45% of our shots come from 3, 55% of our shots come from 2. We average, I'm not even, do I have it here? The Knicks averaged 48 points in the paint. They got 70 last night. 70 points in the paint. And so to me, this is a sign of a good team when the other team tries to take away what you do best and you respond. The Knicks responded the Knicks responded last night. The Knicks also went to the line 31 times. Obviously, if you're scoring in the paint, you're going in the paint. There's more chance for contact, more chance for being fouled. The Knicks took 31 free throws last night. They usually take 23.5 for 23rd in the league. Again, this is what you're going to take away. This is how we're going to respond. That was the Knicks last night. They also took away the offensive rebounds and the second chance points. They're number 2 in opponent second chance points, by the way. But the Knicks usually corral 34% of their misses. Last night, just 21.6. But again, through points in the paint and efficiency, the Knicks were able to make up for that. Orlando, in my opinion, didn't respond as well to what the Knicks took away. The Knicks played, I thought, aggressive defense last night, particularly in the first quarter, came out with a lot of energy and rotations, and we'll get into that. And I think Cat was a big part of that, and I'll get into Cat's defense a little later. They're number 1 in free throw attempts. They take 29 a game. Last night, they took 25, right? They hit it at an 80% clip. Last night, it was 68%. That's not the Knicks. The Knicks didn't do anything to help them miss the free throws. But again, the Knicks played aggressive defense without fouling. And the Knicks gave them the 3, right? They take only, 37% of their shots from 3. They average, what is that? Yeah. Okay, I don't have that. But they take 37.3% of their shots from 3. Last night, they took 42. That's just not their game. That's just not their game. But that's what they were able to get against the Knicks defense. So they had to take them, and they didn't shoot. They didn't shoot it well. So again, the Knicks taking away something from the other team. They don't respond. Now, the Knicks got away with a few things. They're number 6 in points in the paint at 54. The Knicks gave up 62 points in the paint. And the Knicks got away with it because they scored 70 themselves, right? It's not normally what the Knicks do. The Knicks got away with Orlando taking 13 more shots than they did, and more shots than the Knicks. The Knicks usually take the most shots. I think they're ranked top 5, I think, in shots per game. But again, the Knicks were able to get away with taking 13 less shots because they were super efficient in the shots that they did take. Only 12 turnovers last night. OG and Hart had 7 of the 12. OG had 4, Hart had 3. Every starter scored in double figures. The bench only scored 11 points. We got away with that last night just because of the scoring from the starters. And again, I thought the defense was really good without fouling, without sending them to the line. So I'll get into some more. I just want to check in with the chat just to see how you all are feeling about the Knicks game last night. All right, let's see how we feeling before I get into individual performances. Salute Paul Mason. Yes, great win. Rich Boy 7414. I'm not sure if that's your handle or if that's YouTube adding numbers, but salute to you. Just Knicks. Salute. Kerry Cox in the building. Salute. Okay, wait a minute. Jamrock always. Dolan needs to ban Leon from doing any more trades with OKC and Sam Presti. We seem to lose those trades more than we win them. Just refresh my memory. Y'all know my condition. Refresh my memories of the trade we did with OKC, because I believe Hartenstein signed as a free agent. So just refresh my memory. Born Freedom. Let's go, baby. It was an impressive win for the Knicks. Now, Suggs, who at one point seemed to be going point for point with Jalen Brunson. I think he had 26 points in 29 minutes. He had to leave in the third quarter due to a hip injury. He was really playing well for them. So the game, could have been much closer in the fourth quarter. Okay. Injuries happen. The Knicks still took care took care of their business. Kim Doc, I appreciate you joining us. Statement win, in my opinion. You know how bad Orlando wanted that game. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, to your point, the Knicks, I think, went on a 7-0 run to start the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it in the third? But at some point, the Knicks had a 10-point lead and Orlando came storming back, with a run of their own. And that just to show that, they played with urgency. They wanted this game. They wasn't going to lay down for the Knicks. They didn't give up, but the Knicks answered that run as well. Kerry Cox, it won't be that easy against San Antonio. Yeah. Jamrock always. Do you think that's repeatable against the Spurs? I haven't really dug into the Spurs statistically. And even when I do, I think it's going to be a bit out of whack because Wemby has missed, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? He's missed a bunch of games. So even when I do dig into the stats about this team, I don't know how accurate they're going to be now that he's returned. We'll get a chance to see. The Knicks are a very good team. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That game is Tuesday night. I don't know if there's a time yet. I didn't see it on NBA.com, but if somebody knows the time, if you could put it in the chat. Kerry Cox, Knicks are a totally different team with Josh Hart out on the court. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I believe the Knicks are 8-1, maybe 9-1 with Josh Hart in the starting lineup. This is the same starting lineup, by the way, from last year, which was +3. But I think they're like +689 this season, something like that. I think part of it is Josh shooting really helps. I think the other part is just the schemes, are different. So yeah, really, really enjoying Josh Hart in the starting lineup. Kim Doc, they took that 3 away, but that's what I'm saying, Kim Doc, but got completely obliterated in the paint and the rim. And this is what I'm saying. That's the game plan for most teams, right? You want to, you know who they are. You look at the stats, you know what they like to do. You try to take that away and see how they respond. They took the 3-point away from the Knicks. The Knicks took half, right? They averaged 40 to 41 threes per game. They got 20. They made 15 plus per game. They made 7. But the Knicks went into that paint. 70 points in the paint. They shot 71% on those shots in the paint. So just kudos for the Knicks for how they responded. Kerry Cox, I'm hoping the Knicks staff are working hard with Diawara. He needs to replace Yabusele. You might be right. I think the Knicks are betting on experience. Diawara, as athletic as he is, he's still a little raw. But you can argue, even in his rawness, he'll give you more than Yabusele. I think they might be trying to give Yabusele every opportunity to contribute before they, take him out of the rotation. Good morning, Randu 1973. Jamrock. Orlando normally thank you for that. I appreciate it. Allows 52 points in the paint, and they gave up 70 to the Knicks. Ty Cowboy, appreciate you, sis. It's been a minute. Yes. I'm going to talk about that. I can appreciate Cat hustle and driving to the rim last night. And not only that, I thought defensively, he rotated very well. Brunson was in the post. He came over to double team and give help. One of those blocks, I believe, was a rotation block, right? Where he rotated over and blocked the shot. All night, I thought he was on the move. And this is one of the reasons I'm not so concerned about Cat's defense. First of all, I think it's that he's a poor defensive player is overstated. I think, like we talk about, there's different parts to defense when it comes to a team. There's different parts to individual defense too, right? One-on-one defense in space, defending in the post, pick and roll defense, Rebounding is part of defense. His pick and roll defense is not great. I think he's okay laterally. As far as rotations, I think he just refuses to rotate over. But it was the same thing last year. But then when the playoffs came around, he turned it up and just made the effort that I'm going to rotate in the playoffs. Would I like to see that every single game from Cat? Absolutely. But if you're only going to do it sometimes, do it in these high leverage games, right? And that was Cat last night. I was really impressed with his defense, and it lets us know what he can do. I don't think anybody is asking him to, at least I'm not asking him to be something that he's not. But I am asking him to be a good team defender and just rotate over and be where you're supposed to be. All right. All right. Crim's dad, FYI, the league doesn't count this as a road or home game. That is correct. They counted the win, but don't count it as a road win. So the Knicks are still 4-6 on the road, which should be 5-6. But yeah, because it was a neutral site. Yeah. Yeah. Kerry, it's a whiteout here in Southside Jamaica. Really? Wow. Okay. Okay. If add all the wins and losses, you will get 24 games, not 25. I know you play an extra game. Does that count though in the 82 game schedule? I don't think so. The next game, I mean, against San Antonio. I don't think so. Kim Dyke, Mike Brown had them well prepared to handle business. Everyone did their job. Impressive game from Cat as well on both sides of the point ball. Absolutely. Right. Jason Benjamin, are people still wanting to trade Kolek? That's a great question. You know, I thought Kolek played his best game last night. He played his best game last night. And I think statistically, it may not show his impact. He was plus 18 for those who are into plus minuses. I'm not a big plus minus person. Let me see if I can find Kolek last night. I keep pulling up the wrong one. Let's see. And I think all right, Kolek last night, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 16 minutes, plus 18. I thought he was great last night. I thought he fought on defense. He fought over screens really well, got really small to try to squeeze through so that he wouldn't get caught on the screens as much. You know, that sequence where I think he hit Hart for a layup, then he, you know, stole the ball from Bain, then he hit, and these are consecutive plays, hit, I think it was Bridges for another layup. And this was a high leverage game. I thought he played well. I'm open to any trade that's going to help the Knicks. And it doesn't matter if it's Kolek or anybody else. If the Knicks are a better team after the trade, I'm all for it. You know. Jason Benjamin, I still don't get the trade Kolek. He's nice. Yeah, Jason Benjamin, he is nice. He's a growing player. You know, over the course of his career, he's going to get even better. I think when the front office is considering trading players or fans are open to trading players, it's about gauging where that player is right now in this championship window versus who that new player is. That's really what it's about. I don't think it's a commentary on who Tyler Kolek will ever be. I don't think it's a commentary on that. Even when you think about trades that's happened in this league, Shy getting traded from LA to OKC, I don't think it was about, we don't think he'll ever be a good player. It's not that. It's about timeline, right? It's about, I don't know was it Paul George? Whoever the trade was for, it was about this player that we're trading for gives us a better chance of winning the chip in the next few years. Whereas it's going to take Alexander a few more years to come into his own. That's really what it's about. And I think that's what's often lost from, with fans when we're trying to, oh, don't trade this guy. Don't trade this guy. They're going to be good in a few years. We just got to, okay, but the Knicks are trying to win now. So it's always about the window, never about who the player, how they're playing now. And it will be up and down. That's just part of being a young player in this league, right? But it's not about who they're going to be. It's about the window. It's about the window. I appreciate you though, Jason Benjamin, always rocking for Kolek and the young players. I appreciate you, and I know they do too, if they're listening. Efrain Lopez, point of attack defense is our biggest weakness. Suggs didn't go off when Deuce is in the lineup. We absolutely need him healthy, and in my opinion, another defensive option coming off the bench. I'm not gonna disagree with that. They were also hunting, Brunson as well. I think the mandate was, if you find yourself with Brunson guarding you, take it to the rack. D Nice, I appreciate you. Thank you, Kerry Cox. Tuesday, 8:30. Appreciate you. I always get this wrong. JM 3000. I think I got that wrong, but I appreciate you. Paul Mason, I think we're playing too fast for Yabusele. Cat is playing much better defense over the past few games. Would you agree? Not just last night. I think over the past few games. Oh, head for the win. Been a minute, my brother. I appreciate you. Trade Yabusele for Dante DiVincenzo. Replace Yabu with Diawara. Yeah, man. The only thing about trading a big for Dante is that now, maybe then Shamet becomes situational, right? Because you're just bringing in yet another guard to the rotation. Kerry Cox, Tyler Kolek has improved, but he ain't no Dante. That is a fact. BKNY 1982, Cat is underappreciated. Absolutely. Even when his defense is piss poor, he's still underappreciated. I'm with you on that. What's good, Knick family? Salute to the chat. Salute to the queen. Good morning, and let's go Knicks. Absolutely. BKNY 1982 again said Cat should not be in trade talks. Yeah, that's a fact. I agree with that. Unless it's for somebody that, listen, any trade talk, you have to ask the question, will the Knicks be better after the trade? That's the question. Will the Knicks be better? All right, let's get into some individual performances. And I've talked about some of them already, so I'll just go through them really quick, and then we'll get back to the chat. Brunson was him last night. 40 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. And I thought he started the game kind of, not even looking for his shot, right? Like against Toronto. Like he started this game kind of laid back, if you will, passing it around, not really coming out hunting his shots, and still ended up with 40 points. This was his 4th game with 30 plus points. He only had 2 3-pointers, so most of his damage came in the paint. And like I said, he was hunted on defense last night. Cat, big Cat, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 81.8. So he was 9 of 11 from the field overall. 2 of 4, only 11 shots? Wow. 2 of 4 from the 3-point. Okay, he went to the line 10 times and made 9 of them. He was plus 14. I thought he got some really good touches in the first quarter. I don't know if that was a concerted effort to get him the ball, but he did touch the ball much more in the first quarter than usual. Like I said, his defensive rotations was on point, doubling, to help Brunson in the, basically he was him last night, I thought, in terms of efficiency, in terms of the type of shots he took. Like he was strong with the ball, all this flopping and when somebody just touches him. I didn't see a lot of that, if any of it, last night. Made really strong moves to the ball. I liked his first possession. I think he was in the post. I want to say Wendell Carter. I'm not sure. He didn't try to back him down. He just turned around and took the jumper. It was a fadeaway. Okay, maybe he didn't need a fadeaway. But this is what I say about Cat. He has the height. He has the touch. I don't think he really needs to be banging just shoot over the top. I thought he was phenomenal last night. Anunoby, 24.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Did turn the ball over 4 times, but he was efficient as well. Took 13 shots, made 8 of them. Took 4 3-pointers, made 3. Went to the line 6 times, made 5. And then we already know what his defense is. If he's guarding somebody and somebody else wants to try to drive past their guy, okay, just don't drive by on the side in which Anunoby is playing his person, right? Because he's going to swipe at it and get the steal, and he did that. I already talked about Kolek. Excellent minutes from him last night. Continues to get the Knicks easy shots. I talked about, that sequence, 2 assists and a steal. He really fought on defense. And this is an article I read in the Post. It was from Jared Swartz and Stefan Bondi that said, for most of the season, the Knicks have lost the minutes with Kolek on the floor. Again, I have not double-checked this myself. They lost the minutes with him on the floor for most of the season, but last night he was plus 18, a team best plus 18. He played the first 7 minutes of the second quarter, and the Knicks outscored the Magic by 11. He was also in at the end of the third, early in the fourth, where the Knicks outscored Orlando by 6. Just really, really, really good minutes from Kolek last night. I'm going to breeze through the rest of these plays, and then I'm going to get back to the chat. Hart, 12.6 rebounds, 6 assists, took 4 3-pointers, did not make any, still had 3 turnovers, but Knicks are 8-1 with Hart in the starting lineup. And that secondary, but like that pass on the slant through, I think it was 2 defenders, and I think it was Bridges for the layup. Like his passing was on full display last night. And so even when he's not shooting well, the defensive rebounds, the offensive rebounds that leads to second chance points, the secondary playmaking is great. And if this shooting is for real, then Josh Hart is a different player. We shall see. We shall see. Bridges, 18.6 rebounds, 7 assists, just continues to come to work and do work. Really good last night. Robinson, 18 minutes, 5 points, 9 rebounds, 4 offensive, 5 defensive rebounds, went to the line twice, made one of them. He was great on the boards last night, giving the Knicks second opportunities, got really good blocks. 1 block, I think he was picked off in the half court. He chased, chase is kind of strong, being that it was in the half court, but he chased them down and got the block. Rim protection, I thought he was okay. I thought he was good at times protecting the rim, not so much at other times, but overall, I thought Mitchell Robinson was solid last night. And as we talked about, the Knicks played San Antonio Spurs, who, when I woke up this morning, I wanted to watch the game, but I couldn't. I was surprised to see that they beat OKC, right? Snapped their, I want to say, 16-game winning streak. This was the first game, if I'm not mistaken, Wemby was back. I read that he didn't play in the first quarter, scored most of his points in that fourth quarter. He's just a unicorn. Like, I know we said Porzingis, right? We labeled him the unicorn when he first came into the league. This is a unicorn. And we get to see him front and center Tuesday night. Knicks haven't played a top 5 team in the West yet, right? I believe they're top 5 in the West. So this will be their first opportunity Tuesday night. All right. Let's get back to the chat. Kerry Cox, Cat has been more aggressive. I respect that. Okay. Milwaukee is aging for far too much for Giannis. Okay. Salute, Geraldine. I appreciate you joining me this morning, joining us this morning. Yes, make sure you hit the like button. Good morning. Okay. Why stop at Dante? Trade Yabu for Wemby. I think Dante is more obtainable. I'm gonna change my name. Oh boy. Ally Wise, I appreciate you. Latoria B, I appreciate you putting in that work. I saw you last night on the late night show with Freezy. Cat had a great game, and was my pick for the game ball, and he got it, rocking the hard hat in the Timbs. Come on, Big Cat. Yeah, can we get that? Can we get that from Cat most games? Crims that the pass. Is that the heart pass you're talking about? All right. Oh boy. Peter Rodriguez, 608. Wemby is going to be tough to deal with. Yeah. Yep. He will. How will the Knicks score in the paint with? I mean, that's not the Knicks game anyway. Right? Knicks are 21st in the league in points in the paint. They take 45% of their shots from 3. That's the Knicks game. You know, the Knicks game is 3-point shots, second chance opportunities. Now, I'm not sure. Again, I haven't done a deep dive into San Antonio, so I'm not sure, you know, what their 3-point field goal defense is. If they limit teams from taking 3-point shots, even if they don't, I think they have the athletes where they can do it. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I'm here for it. Cat needs to dominate for us to win, and I believe he will. Do we want Alvarado? I'm not against Alvarado. I want the Knicks though to kind of survey the entire league and see what's available, right? See, what's the best you can get. Like I'm hearing Dante. Dante's not a point guard, but I would love to have Dante back. Yeah, I would love to have him back. Krim's dad said, yes, I want Alvarado. Hard pass. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Old head for the win. Mitch Robinson needs to step up against Wemby and show his worth again. I believe he will. I believe he will. Good morning, East Blue Drew. Appreciate you. Yes, Paul Mason. Wemby will still be on a minutes restriction. Last night, from what I read, they held him out in the first quarter, like I said earlier, and I'm not sure if he played most of his minutes in the fourth, but I know he scored most of his points in the fourth. He's blue. I wanted OKC, but I'm cool on beating Wemby. Absolutely. We need more bigs. BKNY 1982. Yeah. The Knicks are not going to be able to get everything, but I would love for the Knicks to have another ball handler, another wing, another 3-4 with size who can defend, and another big, right? From my lips to God's ears, right? I don't think they're not going to be able to get all 3. Paul Mason, I'm not about another. Listen. Who was this? Somebody from KFS said in a tweet. Oh, who was they talking about? Oh, Clarkson. Clarkson is 6'4", 6'5". How's he doing defensively with that height? Right? So it's not just about, it's not just about height. You have guys on our team who are tall or have some height, and they're just not playing well defensively. So do you just automatically not sign a player who's an active defensive player? I haven't dug into his stats to see, is he a really good point of attack defender? I believe he is. In a few games I've seen him play, he really goes at it and can be a pest. But again, that's just the eye test. I'm okay with Alvarado. Would I like to have a guard with size? Yeah, but I want a lot of things on this team, even though I like what we're doing so far. I'm just going to be prepared because they love pushing Wemby as the golden boy. All right. It's amazing to see centers once again become important factors in this 3-point NBA. Them 3 Spurs guards are a problem, right? Fox, Castle, and is one of them the rookie or the second-year player? Let me know who the third one is. His name escapes me right now. Okay, I seen an interesting trade proposal. Mitch traded to the Pelicans for Alvarado, Bay, and Missy. Is Bay back playing? Hmm, okay. Honestly, think we have everything we need. Just need to let some more kids develop alongside Kolek. Yeah, but yeah, I think I'll never agree on this point. Like, and I get it. I respect everybody who's for the young players, but you guys know how I feel about it. Young players are up and down, and it's okay for them to be up and down. That's just part of their process. You know, they can go into the playoffs and ball out. They really can. But if you're trying to win a championship, is that the risk you're willing to take that they will ball out? Right? That's the risk you're willing to take. For me, no. For me, no. You know, can they get minutes? Should they get minutes? Spot minutes, here and there minutes? Absolutely, they should. Absolutely, they should. But if there's an opportunity to improve your team, you do it because the time is now. It is. And by now, meaning the next 3 years, though some would argue this year. Um, listen, remember Boston? I think they went to the finals and that summer, if I'm not mistaken, they traded Marcus Smart and Lord Williams III, their center, to get better, to get better. Right. So even good teams make trades to get better. Um, Mitch and Pacome Dadier was in the trade. Okay. Dwayne Dennis, this is great. This builds confidence, player morale, camaraderie, trust. Come playoff time, it can only get better. Shamrock always, it's Herb Jones or bust for me. If you're gonna get anybody, if you're gonna get anybody from the Pelicans, I know they're not trading Trey Murphy, but Trey Murphy or Herb Jones, I heard Herb Jones they might be open to trading. I have not heard anything about um, Trey Murphy, so I can't argue with you there, Jamrock. Harper, thank you. What is that? Devin Apollodon? I know I butchered that up, but yes, thank you for that, Harper. Andrew N. 8709. I appreciate you rocking with Dylan Harper is the other guard. There we go. Oh, Vassell too. Vassell and Harper, Fox, Castle. Spurs actually have 4 good guards wings. Yeah, for sure. Wiz. I would like to lock down one more vet at power forward and or a reliable three-point shooter, including Sham and Deuce. In addition to them, I take it you're saying. How can I forget Vassell? We have the same name. Some people want Zion. Nah, yeah. Zion is an on the ball player, right? He's at his best on the ball. I think that just changes the structure of your team and what you're trying to do. I think we need more defenders. I think we need you can never have enough shooting, even though I think the Knicks shoot the ball well, above league average, particularly from 3. Number 6, I want to believe. All right, I'm not going to look for it now, but the Knicks are top 10 in 3-point attempts, 3-point made, 3-point percentage. I don't know about the fit of Zion, and is he somebody you want to reconfigure your team? Like I talk about the fit of Giannis, right? He's another one that's at his best with the ball in his hands. But there are many who believe, you know, if you have to reconfigure your team for one of the best players in the league right now and to ever play, you do it if you can get him. I'm not sure the sentiment is the same for Zion. For me, it isn't. All right. Do we know if Deuce and Shammy will be available for the Cup? You know, Deuce, from what I understand, was at least out of the walking boot and walking regular, without a limp. I haven't heard anything about Shamit. Um, so if somebody heard anything, let me know. They said he would be reevaluated 4 weeks from the injury. It should be about that. Or is this like the 3? I think they played Orlando October 21st. Excuse me, November 21st. So it might be another week before evaluation. Him's dad, he averages about 45 games a season, talking about Zion. Yeah. BKNY 1982, Knicks chemistry is good. We need to protect that. Yeah, that's always interesting. Is the player you bringing in good enough to disrupt chemistry short term with the hopes that you'll regain chemistry down the line and be better, right? I think that's the question. I don't know if it's we have good chemistry, we're not going to break that up for any reason or any player whatsoever. I don't believe that, but I do believe, the question I just said, is this player good enough that it's going to disrupt it for a while, but man, oh man, when it comes back together, will be that much better? That's the question the Knicks have to ask. So I believe the Knicks front office have to ask when it comes to chemistry. All right, we should put Deuce on Cat's shoulder so his ankles won't matter and we can guard Wemby. Oh man. Anyway, that's all I have today, family. I appreciate you all joining us again. Monday night, me and Ajay will be doing the stats and storylines where we will take a look at the Knicks games this week, the opponents the Knicks are playing this week. Let me see if I can quickly get to my calendar so I can see. I know Tuesday, it's San Antonio. Thursday, we're at Indiana. Friday, Philadelphia is at the Garden. And then Sunday, Miami Heat is in the Garden. So the Knicks have 4 games this week. Wow. All right. So join us tomorrow, Monday, 7:30 p.m., where we'll break down San Antonio, Indiana, Philly, Miami, so you guys can get a sense of what's going on with the team in terms of the storyline surrounding the team, but also can get a sense of the team statistically and what the Knicks can do to gain an advantage, I appreciate you guys. Let me just see if there's any last comments before I get out of here. Harper, Fox, Castle, and that defensive menace rookie Carter Bryant. Okay. Yep. Size 9, we're going to whoop the Spurs. The Knicks are a good team. The defense is coming along. Are we still? I don't know if we're still. Are we still top 10 in defensive rating? Let me just check this really. Well, right now, we're 11th in defensive rating. Anyway, Knick family, I appreciate you guys, rocking with me. I will be back Wednesday, 12:30, to recap the San Antonio game. Anybody out there who wants to join me, by all means, you're welcome. But until next time, family.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at?
Dope